You need to be higher than that. Can I prop you on a book on a thermos? Oh, that might work. You're just a little too high though. Ah! I knew that happened. The staggering professionalism of a YouTuber. Okay, I think this will work. Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to Vlogmas 5. A lot of people post their gift guides, whether it's websites that they like to frequent when they shop for the holidays or brands that they really love who are having discounts at the moment, whether it's for Black Friday or another holiday deal. Some people like to show crafts on how to make a gift for someone for the holidays. I knew I wanted to do a gift guide. I just didn't know how I was going to do it because I wanted to be conscious of people's finances. I know for myself, I like to thrift, not only because I love the thrill of the hunt and finding quality treasures for a very reasonable price, but I also like the fact that my money goes a lot farther than if I were to shop at Target or Hobby Lobby or Home Goods or TJ Maxx. Not that I have anything against any of those stores. I still love to shop there. I just don't shop there for big items, particularly when it pertains to Christmas. I also wanted to make sure that the things I recommended to you were available for purchase for the most part. And you'll see what I mean as the video goes on. So I will have all the websites, Instagram profiles, things like that linked down below for you. I'll put them in the order that I mentioned them. And throughout the video, as I'm talking about specific brands or items, I'll have images pop up on the screen, probably over here at this lovely blank section of wall that conveniently is here, just so you can have a visual of what I'm talking about if I don't have a physical representation to show you. Okay, all the explanations aside, I wanted to talk about mostly budget-friendly gifts to give your friends and family for Christmas. I have a list on my phone so that I can keep myself on track, and also because my memory is utter crap and I really don't want to forget anything. The things I'm going to mention are in no particular order. They are not in order of like favorite to least favorite. It's just as I wrote them on my list. The first brand I want to talk about is called the ABC Market. I've been lucky enough to actually meet the owner of this company in person, and she's so lovely. Usually when I go to the Vintage Market Days of Dayton and Cincinnati in the fall time, because that's when their Christmas things come out, and her company is all book related. So nearly everything in her shop has to do with books, literature, the love of reading, whether it's mugs or merch or folded pages of books to create a sign. I'll put a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. But my favorite thing by far that she sells, that I've purchased for myself by the way, are her book themed candles. Actually, let me go grab one so I can show you what I mean. Okay, I have two candles to show you. One I've burnt through entirely and one I'm saving for closer to Christmas. This one is the one I've burnt through completely. You can see that I've repurposed the container to house this pothos plant cutting, which desperately needs watered. I'll have to do that after I film this. This candle is named Stars Hollow, which, if you don't know, is a reference to the very popular show Gilmore Girls. I love that show. I grew up with it, so anything that pertains to Lorelai and Rory Gilmore, I am fully on board with. I saw that she had this candle made of natural soy, handmade and hand poured. I honestly can't remember what it smelled like before because there's a plant in it. With her new candles, she's started putting the description of the scent right on the front so it's easy for you to know what you're buying. This one is called Pumpkin Pasties. It is a natural soy hand-dipped candle scented as cinnamon sugared pumpkin. And she even has a little description that goes with it. I'll read it to you. It is that time of year again to escape to England and experience the magic at the castle. I love that she doesn't flat out say what the candles are based on, but if you are an avid reader at all, you can pretty much guess what they're based on. This one is in reference to Harry Potter. Pumpkin pasties are one of the treats that Harry and Ron have when they're riding the train to Hogwarts. Oh my word, it smells so good. I want to eat this, if that's any indication of how yummy this smells. All of her candles are like that. Honestly, if you're a bookworm like I am, you're gonna want to give her brand a browse. The things that she sells are not only perfect gifts for yourself, but also for fellow bookworm friends. I know most of my friends are avid readers. Even though their tastes run to different things, I feel like we can all agree that everyone loves a good smelling candle, whether or not they've read that particular book or not. And I think this is the perfect gift for somebody for Christmas. And the nice thing is, when you're done with it, instead of throwing away the container, you can turn it into a little planter like I did. The next brand I want to talk to you about is called Sandgrain Studio. This is a shop available on Etsy, and although I haven't purchased from them myself, I have quite a few items from their catalog in my wish list, specifically their Friends poster. So this brand is really cool because they have movie and TV posters, but they're not just recreations of the same movie posters you see displayed up in theaters. These are really creative recreations. I'll put some pictures up here to give you an example. But I know for me, I don't want my walls cluttered with floating heads that are often the style of movie posters. The colors don't always go. Sometimes it just kind of feels jarring to see that displayed amongst your other pretty things. As you can see, I have a very elegant, slightly eclectic, but metallic gold accented kind of style. I like to call it boho farmhouse glam. I'm not sure if that's a real style, but that's what I like to call mine. And the nice thing about Sandgrain Studio posters is that they go with my decor. For instance, the Friends posters, they have multiple options for one TV show. So you have options. They also have the same thing for Star Wars. Lots of options to choose from, lots of color palettes to browse through, allowing you to still have that representation of the movie or the TV show that you love without it being a slightly garish or jarring movie poster. It's something that I would personally feel comfortable having amongst my decor, and it would go. It wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb. It would actually blend in quite effortlessly. So I wanted to mention them because I am a genuine lover of movies. I grew up with movies. I love them. They're such an intricate, nostalgic part of my childhood. My family is very well known for quoting movie quotes at any and all occasions, particularly the nostalgic ones that we grew up with. And so movies have a very special place in my heart. And I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like there are a lot of you who also love movies, and Sandgrain Studio has so many posters to choose from. So even if you don't like Star Wars like I do, they have other things. They even have a brand new Dune poster that I found, and that was tempting to buy, but nope, I'm holding out for that Friends poster. That's the one I'm saving for. It's just such a cool thing. I just thought it was so creative and worth mentioning for the movie buffs in your family or friend group. This next brand is actually an Instagram account that I follow. If any of you don't know, I have my own little thrift shop, which I'll get to that later in the video. But on that account, I strictly follow fellow thrifters who resell their beautiful, unique items that they've thrifted from various places. And one of those people are called Preloved Treasures by Kate. I actually found her Instagram about a month ago and have been fully obsessed since. Her style is very neutral, a little bit boho. I haven't found a single item on her Instagram that I haven't loved and wanted to buy for myself. Her price points on the whole are very affordable. Her items are lovely. If you like my style and how I decorate things within my home, you'll definitely like the things that she sources to sell on her Instagram. There's definitely a common thread between our tastes, and I think you'll really like her. So I wanted to give her a mention. If I remember correctly, she's based in Florida, which really makes me want to visit and thrift over there. I might have to message her and be like, hey, so one, I exist, and two, I'd really like to know where you thrift so I can go on a thrifting vacation to Florida. But I wanted to give her a mention because I really do love everything she posts, and there's just something so special about gifting a treasure that's been pre-loved, that's had a previous life. That's one of the reasons I love thrifting, is thinking about the people who owned it before. The special thing about buying from thrifting resellers is that their items are not common. You'll have the solace in knowing that almost no one else in the world will have this exact same gift. It will be something completely unique, often from a time gone by, but in the best way. And thrifting items that are just as good quality for so much less money is my favorite way to shop. If you have followed my channel for any length of time, you probably have come on an antiquing trip with me to one of my favorite places to shop called Antiques Village. It's this mall-sized industrial warehouse looking building full of aisles of treasure. When I tell people about it, I always add the caveat that you're gonna wanna set aside a few hours of your time to really delve into the magic that is Antiques Village. I definitely have my favorite booths I like to visit, and one of them is called Industrial Evo Designs. They have an Instagram that I'll link down below for you, but basically they love Harry Potter. It's immediately evident when you walk into their booth, but they also have a love for old cameras and handmade wooden wands from the world of Harry Potter. Cute signs that either have a bookish quote or something very relatable. They also have this entire section of common items made into Edison bulb lamps. I have wanted one of their Edison bulb lamps since I discovered their booth. I've always wanted one of those old-time camera ones that has the Edison bulb sticking out of it. I just am in love with how they have turned something that probably isn't usable anymore and gave new life to it. It's just so unique and different, and definitely a conversation piece. I feel like those are the kind of gifts that you just won't see anywhere else. And that's exactly why I added them to this gift guide video. Because if you're anything like me, you love giving a gift that's unique and personalized to the person you're gifting to. If you have the time to browse their booth at Antiques Village, please, please do so. You will not regret it. It's so much fun. I mean, the entire place is fun, but their booth, definitely a favorite of mine. This next idea is something a little more simple, definitely cost effective. And although I'm gonna mention a place that is local to me, you can go to an antique store that's close to you and find something very similar. So there's an antique shop called Midwest Memories. I visit there quite often, usually with a coffee in hand and my vlogging camera out, because they just have the most darling, beautiful booths stuffed with anything and everything you could think of. There's one booth right by the stairs that lead to the basement. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. They have an entire box full of old-time postcards. Some of them look like old photographs, others look like drawings of locations, and they're all just so beautiful and whimsical and hint at a time gone by. I think those are some of the best things you can grab. They have theirs for $1 each. If I had had the time last time I was there, I would have scoured through to find postcards that were either the color palette of a friend that I was shopping for or a location that spoke to that person. Hop over to Goodwill, find a really cute frame, and stick the postcard in it. It's such a simple, cost-effective gift, but it can mean so much, especially if you write a little hidden message on the back of the postcard, which they may or may not discover if they ever open the frame. Those are the kind of gifts I really love to give because 1, they're unique, 2, they're cost effective, and 3, it contains that extra special personalized thoughtfulness that a lot of gift givers don't have time to or don't know how to take into account. This next shop is also available on Etsy. It's called While Olivia Sleeps Art. I actually discovered this through a YouTuber I follow. It's her mother. Paints these beautiful landscape acrylic paintings. The color palettes are so dreamy and earth-toned, full of neutrals and little pops of jewel tones. But instead of selling the originals, she sells prints of her paintings, and each one are $15. That's it. She could charge so much more based on the quality of her work, but I wanted to mention her because she's so affordable. And not only is it nice to support fellow creators by purchasing their wares, but you get that personalized, you'll never find this anywhere else, touch to the gift. She finds the most beautiful frames at all of these antique stores because she lives in Texas, and I guess there's just a plethora of antique stores over there. I really need to make a trip to Texas, I think. Prints do not come with the frames, but if you have an eye for that kind of thing, I like to find my frames at Goodwill. You can take that $15 print and $2 frame and make a very affordable gift that will easily go with most color palettes. I know for me, I like to take that into account when I'm gifting something for someone that's going to be sitting out or is a decoration piece. They're just so buttery, yummy. That doesn't make sense. The neutral palette of each painting is honestly just so lovely. I couldn't help but mention them for this gift guide. The next shop I want to talk about is a shameless plug. I want to talk about my thrift shop. The Instagram handle is Sable Rose Shop. I have a resale shop where I take the treasures I've thrifted and resell them to you at an affordable price. My fall collection has tons of new neutrals and lovely color palettes. I just released my Christmas collection, which is full of vintage looking pieces, collectible pieces like Christmas trays that are good quality glass that can be passed down through the generations. I've got glassware, I've got wooden toys, I've got so many things that I would personally purchase if I didn't already have them to sell. I try to stick to items that go with my personal decor because I know a lot of you are coming from my YouTube channel or my Instagram where I have a very specific aesthetic, and a lot of you love that, and so to keep me on brand and to make sure it's something that I know you already like, I try to keep to that aesthetic when I'm shopping for items to resell. So if you like the things that I decorate with, if you like the aesthetic that I present to you on Instagram and YouTube, please go check out Sable Rose shop. I keep my prices very affordable, and I hope there's something there that is the perfect fit for someone in your life for Christmas. About a year ago, I discovered a YouTuber called Girl in Calico. She's got the dreamiest B-roll footage in her videos. I honestly would love to take YouTubing lessons from this girl. She's so talented. She's definitely got that homestead, country bumpkin charm to her videos, which brings me into why I mentioned her in the first place. She has recipes. She has a recipe book that's available for purchase, and honestly her recipes are so yummy looking. She has her own produce garden that she likes to cook from as often as possible, so a lot of her recipes are based on things from the ground, and she takes a very healthy approach to it without sacrificing flavor, without sacrificing the delicious factor. I think a cookbook is always a cool gift to give somebody, especially around the holidays where people are starting to bake more and experiment with the things they're cooking in order to add in those seasonal flavors. It's a gift that's constructive, useful, doesn't offer a lot of clutter. When I'm shopping for people, I like to think, is this useful? Is this practical? Is it going to create clutter, or is it going to be helpful? Those are the kind of things I think about when I'm sourcing gifts for people. And I think a recipe book like Girl in Calico's recipe book is one of those gifts that just keeps on giving, and there's no downside to that. The next thing I'm gonna mention, I've gotta go grab something. Hang on. Okay, got what I needed. During this time of year, a lot of people will gift baked goods to their friends and family, but that can be difficult when you have people in your life who have food allergies or food aversions. But there's one gift I've never seen fail, and unless you have a friend who specifically does not like this, which can happen, I genuinely don't see how this could go wrong. If you've been following me for any length of time, you should know by now that Harney Sons tea is my favorite tea of all time. I am completely spoiled now. Generic tea does not do it for me anymore. I have to purchase Harney Sons or nothing. If you like decaffeinated tea where you don't have to worry about caffeine intake, the vanilla Chamorro flavor is wonderful for that. They describe it as a creamy decaffeinated indulgence. I like to add in a splash or two of milk just to give it a little bit of a more well-rounded consistency. This is such a nice thing to sip on right before bed because I know it's not going to keep me up, and it's just warm and cozy, and it comes in the cutest tin ever. I mean, look how aesthetic this branding is. It's so cute. Honestly, I first fell in love with Harney Sons because of the branding, and the flavor is what made me stay. Speaking of flavor, I have their pumpkin spice. I bought 2 of these so that it would last me all through fall, and I haven't even gotten through my first tin yet. Each tin comes with 20 sachets? Sachets? I'm not sure. Clearly I'm a tea connoisseur. But they describe this as herbal rooibos with pumpkin and spices. And when you're done with the tea tins, something I like to do that you can also do as a gift, if you are a tea collector like me and have tins to spare, you can turn it into a plant box. I will actually link that video for you in the corner. I did a Christmas crafting video where I showed you some really cool gift ideas, one of which I turned a vanilla Chamorro tea tin into a planter for my snake plant. And it's still going strong. You can't see it, but I mean, it has grown. It's almost touching the ceiling. That's how big it's gotten in just the last year in that tiny little tin. I haven't replanted it or anything. And I don't know about you, but something this cute, you don't want to just throw away. So those are 2 gift ideas in one. I will stand by Harney Sons until the day I die. I love their teas. They're delicious and the perfect gift for anybody who loves tea.
Oh, hello. I know I'm dressed differently, but I am in the same spot. I'm currently editing this video right now, but I realized that I missed 2 businesses that I wanted to tell you guys about. They're both small, they're both independent, and I absolutely love them. And then past me, very confusing. We'll pop in and tell you about the very last shop recommendation. So the first brand I forgot to talk about is called Simple. It's a pottery business run by my cousins. They make beautiful handmade dishware out of pottery and very neutral colored glazes. Their pieces are very timeless, and because of the neutral color palette, would go with anyone's decor. They make perfect gifts because not only are they handmade to perfection, but they're such a timeless item to have in your kitchen. They have mugs, they have tumblers, they have dishes, they have bowls. Definitely something you can collect over time or just give one item of. I've had my eye on a tumbler for a while. It's on my list of things to save up for. That list is ever growing, let me tell you. I always love standing behind small businesses that have created something from scratch, worked from the ground up, and built something incredible. And my cousins have absolutely done that. And I just knew this gift guide would not be complete without giving their business a shout out. Hopefully you've seen something here on the side that interests you or might be perfect for someone in your life. Maybe you'll find something for yourself. I mean, I said this was a gift guide. I didn't say it had to be a gift for someone else. The last business I want to talk about, I don't know if they're small necessarily, but I have purchased from them before as a gift to my dad actually. They're called Frome, and what they do is they take a snapshot of every single still in a movie, any given movie you get to choose, and they take one color from each still throughout the whole movie and place them in a row, almost like a rainbow effect, on a piece of canvas. And each movie has a different color palette. The collection of colors spread across the canvas are entirely different depending on the movie you choose. It's such a cool gift, especially if you have family members or friends who are movie buffs and you don't want to get them a huge, giant, glaring poster of the movie, but you do want to do something that is a nod to that love of movies. It is a little pricey, I won't lie. It's such a cool concept, and I feel like for people you just don't know what to gift them, it's just that totally unique gift that you've never heard of before until you have. And it's definitely a conversation starter when you see it on the wall. You're like, what's that? That's kind of cool. Oh, it's a movie. It's what? It's just really cool, so I thought I'd mention it.
Second to last idea is the Giving Keys. That's a brand that you may or may not have heard of. I'm actually wearing mine today. I got mine from TJ Maxx. The Giving Keys is a really cool brand. I've always liked them, and there's an aspect to their brand that I really enjoy that I'll mention in a minute. But the preface of the Giving Keys, and I'll take mine off and show you close up. At a glance, it's just a simple key, nothing special. But if you turn it around, you'll see that there's a word embedded in the metal. Mine says believe, but you can also buy them custom. They have so many words to choose from, and you basically just pick the word that speaks the most to you. And the premise of the Giving Key is that you wear the key until the word has fulfilled its purpose. The purpose being entirely up to the wearer. For me, I love it too much to ever give it away, but once the key has fulfilled its purpose, you then gift it to someone who you think the word would benefit. So if someone's going through a hard time, maybe you could give them something that says joy, and that will encourage and remind them to look for the joy in the little things. It's entirely up to you, and again, you can make custom keys for a specific word if you don't see one on their catalog. But the thing that endeared me to the brand most of all is that they employ people who are homeless and give them jobs stamping the words into the keys. I just love that aspect of their business, that they have taken people who have nothing and given them such a wonderful opportunity to make something of themselves. That's so commendable and definitely endeared me to the brand. So if you want to check them out, I'll have them linked below. The last item. This one is pretty simple. Coffee mugs. Let me explain. I love me a coffee mug. We all know this. Whether or not you know me personally, I think you all know that I love a good coffee mug. The bigger the better. I love ones that have personalized slogans that my friends think suit me. I love ones that are just aesthetic and gorgeous, and honestly something that I could put on a shelf as a decoration because they're just that pretty. But mugs can get expensive, let me tell you. Target mugs are expensive and they're generic and everybody has them. When I was a daycare teacher, I had 2 different parents give me the exact same mug, and they were both from Target, and they were beautiful, but I didn't need 2 of them. But if you shop at a place like that, you're gonna get gifts that are very common. However, if you go thrifting at a Goodwill or something similar, you'll find very unique mugs that are a fraction of the cost and completely unique. A lot of them are from sets that have been broken apart, so you only get one or two, but that's kind of the cool thing, because then you have this beautiful array of eclectic pieces that all have a similar color scheme if you shop like I do. And if you're kind of shaking your head at the Goodwill part of this scenario, let me just tell you, I found a Ralph Lauren mug for $2 at my local Goodwill, and it was worth $160, but was on sale for $130 on a website. So hopefully that endears you to Goodwill a little bit more. The moral of the story is that you never know what you'll find, but I can guarantee you that you will find something incredibly unique for that person in your life that you want to gift for Christmas. If you couldn't already tell, I'm a big component of thrifting and making my money go as far as possible, so I hope this gift guide was helpful to you in some way. I mentioned a lot of brands here, but I'll have everything linked down below for you. Let me know in the comments which brand you think you might want to shop from, and I'll see you in the next Vlogmas. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a future video from me. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye!